Okay, hello again. It's been a while, but I'm back reading Vermis. Okay, if you haven't followed the other ones, I believe it's all the way from parts 1 through 3 that I have recorded earlier. Let's get started. Last we left off, that very devastating realization that the house was, in fact, not real. Once the sun hides behind the edge of the world, the true malice of the withered woods is unveiled. Wandering lost through the cold, silent dark, unseen eyes observe your every move, and every snapping branch and rustling bush evokes the image of a lurking foe about to strike. Creatures of the night, despicable devils rejected by the light. Hellbird, opportunistic predators that mostly eat carrion. They do not pose a threat to people, but their loud screech, which reminds of the screams of the damned, can attract other nocturnal horrors. Chanting figure. A lumbering figure roams the woods at night, whispering to himself. He is enveloped in a murky aura that obscures everything around him. One's vision grows dimmer the closer he draws. Lurking fiend. Loathsome aberrations that hide in the soil, leaving only their faces exposed. They produce a sweet aroma to lure their prey before snatching them into their burrows with their sticky, prehensile tongues. Lost soul. Vengeful spirits condemned to haunt the place of their death. They usually carry a lamp or a torch. From afar, they might look like disoriented travelers, but their ethereal nature is exposed as one gets close to them. Tongue cutter. Large scavenger insects. They scare off possible predators by raising and displaying their abdomen, which resembles the face of a demon. Their sting is extremely venomous. The Inn in the Woods. An old road runs through the woods, almost completely hidden under years of neglect. Following it northwards can lead you out of the forest. There, where the air grows warmer, stands a small inn. Its lights are on, and its door has been left ajar. Even from a distance, sounds of merrymaking can be heard, issuing from within. The revelry. From the windows, you can see guests drinking and laughing without a care. If the barmaid notices you, she will lean out of the door and beckon you to enter. The regulars of the isolated inn. A woman serving drinks while chatting and laughing with everyone. She keeps ignoring you. A smiling man sitting in a corner, peeling a potato. He keeps nicking his thumb with a knife accidentally, but does not seem to faze him. An old man gazing sternly at the other guests. Sometimes he grunts and shakes his head in disapproval. A couple of drunk sailors singing a shanty about a shipwreck. The more you listen to their tune, the less it makes sense. A young woman staring unblinkingly into the nothingness. She never utters a word, not even when you try to get her attention. A drunk man sleeping at one of the tables. His companions talk to him as if he was awake. An obnoxiously loud man laughing hysterically. His drink spills over each time he slams it onto the table. An old lady standing still in the middle of the room. No one seems to pay her any notice. A warm bed. Upstairs, you can find a candlelit common sleeping room. 7 beds have been crammed into the small dormitory. Only 2 of them are occupied at the moment. The beds are old but serviceable, and their soft sheets tempt you with the promise of well-deserved rest after a night of wandering through the woods. Within the warmth of the bed, the hubbub of the downstairs revelers slowly die down, and even the first rays of dawn, which now shyly peek over the horizon and invade the room through a window, which seem to grow dim. A dream. The evening light washes over the withered woods. As you walk through the forest, a tiny pool catches your eye. Its waters shimmer with a captivating emerald glow. A silver ring rests on the bottom of the viridian pool. As you reach for it, the pool crystallizes before your very eyes. You look in the green mirror, but only find the sky peeking through the canopy. The vanishing. You feel gentle raindrops landing on your face and hear birds singing nearby. Consciousness slowly returns to you. When you open your eyes, you find the dormitory in ruins. The feeble light of a beclouded sky pours into the room through the hole-ridden ceiling. Broken pieces of furniture lie scattered around, and a sickly-looking mold grows on every surface. Disturbed by your awakening, a flock of birds that was nesting amid the ruins takes flight around the room, fouling the air with dust and feathers. After getting up from the wreckage of your bed, you realize that your gear is missing. The worm-eaten stairs creak loudly on your way down, threatening to break under your feet at any moment. A disturbing sight awaits you in the common hall, or what is left of it, for it too seems to have been ravaged by a silent and terrible horde during your sleep. The only remnants of life left are the detestable vermin that scurry to their hiding holes before your unexpected presence. 8 crudely made puppets are scattered around the room, most of them sitting on the few unbroken chairs that have survived the quiet onslaught. Above their shoulders, some of them bear the carved, misshapen heads of some amateur, or simply uncaring, sculptor. But the true terror lies with the rest of them, for they possess the horrifying visages of what undoubtedly once were living persons, their heads usurped and left to rot far away from their original bodies. Here, as well, you can find your garments and weapons. The rest of your gear is nowhere to be found. Vermis. Scorched City, home of the punished. Traveling east for a week after leaving the ever-boreal forest far behind, you reach a barren wasteland where the scorched husks of long-dead trees just out of the cracked earth. Here stand the still imposing burned remnants of a once-conquered citadel. The streets of ash. All around the Black Fortress lie the ruins of the city it once protected. Its sooted walls still bear the marks of the flames that long ago consumed them. The air, hot and dry, smells faintly of smoke and ash. The very land feels uncomfortably warm as you approach the gray streets. Black clots. These large, repulsive lumps can be found throughout the ruined city, adhered to the floors, walls, and even ceilings. Black clots pulse faintly and exude an acrid stench. Even the slightest touch can cause them to rapidly swell up and burst, splashing everything around them with a boiling black oil that can cause horrible burns. The punishment. The scorched city was ravaged by the punishment long ago. Yet, its influence still haunts the tortured streets. Phase 1. Burning rashes appear all over the bodies of those who amble around the suburbs of the sunken citadel for too long. The resulting scars are referred to as kisses of the punishment by foreigners, and those bearing them are considered a bad omen. Phase 2. In a matter of hours, the lingering evil of the punishment can burn the skin of those who dare enter within the black walls of the fortress. Only magic is capable of healing these wounds. Phase 3. Touching with one's bare skin anything that had been before touched by the punishment will cause the victim to suddenly burn as if engulfed in invisible flames. Those unlucky ones who survive the ordeal are condemned to life of perpetual agony. Phase 4. The skin melts away and reveals blackened bone. Life too is finally stripped from those foolish enough to dare step into this cursed domain and challenge the foes that here dwell. However, from their pyre, a new, dreadful life is sometimes born. As you start treading through the derelict streets, the air fast becomes heavy with the stench of brimstone. Brittle, blackened bones can be seen piled against crumbling walls and heard beneath your marching feet. But in this arid desolation, life too can be found, even if only for the hounding that their scarred visages face wherever they go. And so, maimed silhouettes emerge, now in your wake, inquisitively peeking from behind the endless rubble. Punished peddler. You are a seeker, right? I got treasures, you see. Dozens of them, plundered from the sunken citadel. They can be yours, for a fair price, that is. You ought to carry some gold on you, don't you, traveler? Or maybe something to ease our pain. What do you have? Tell me. The peddler stumbles towards you. There's ever-growing madness in his eyes as he spies your body in search of something of value. You notice that under the bandages that cover his face, he is struggling to breathe. As he draws near, you can feel intense heat radiating from his ill-gotten trove. Suddenly, he collapses to the ground, spilling his cursed riches everywhere. The man writhes and cries in pain. Soon, several afflicted citizens emerge from their hiding spots. Some come to the aid of the peddler, but others confront you about your presence. The punished elder. Begone, stranger. Flee these accursed streets at once. If treasures are what thou seek, go to the citadel. He hath plenty of them to spare. Now, leave us in peace. Let us keep bearing his sin. Or soon thou shalt know its pain too. Can thou feel it? That warm breeze? Can thou feel his breath on your nape? The elder points towards the main gate of the sunken citadel as more and more street dwellers limp out of the ruins. The punished soon grow agitated and start hurling insults and stones in your direction, an attempt to scare you away from their homes. Encounters on the path to the sunken citadel. Ashen Scavenger. A crawling old man rummages through the city's rubble in search of old scriptures. His pale skin is covered in burn scars. He wields a great magics, but will not use them unless you threaten him. He may strike you with his cane if you stand in his way. If you listen closely, you can hear his maddened murmurs. They can burn the paper, but not the knowledge. No, that is something no one can burn. Here, no, here, it hides under the embers. I can feel it. Oh, Master, how much hath been taken away from us. The penitence of the flame. Those who die by the fires of the scorched city often engross its wretched ranks, fueled by the malignant powers of the sunken citadel. Calcined corpses roam the forlorn streets of the inner city, hatefully hunting the living with their blazing touch. Some penitents carry within them the cursed fervor of the punishment in the form of a boiling black oil. Sluggish and bloated, they will not hesitate to immolate themselves in order to spread the sinful flames. Even beasts can succumb to the dark influence of the punishment, and some of those that here once fell victim to its fire now guard the outer walls of the sunken citadel, many of them along with their former masters. Wounded Wyvern. A huge scaly beast lies asleep amid the remains of the market square, nesting on top of a broken cart. Its shriveled body is covered in old burns, and of its consumed wings, only scrawny arms remain. Charred corpses lie scattered around it, many of them still clad in now melted armor. You can spot a few pieces of gear that have survived the heat, most likely due to the magic imbued within them. Even if you manage to sneak your way toward the wyvern, it will eventually catch your scent and awaken, so you will inevitably face its wrath if you dare approach it. Fire spews out of the wyvern's mouth, and while its flames are not those of the punishment, and hence will not afflict you with the curse of undeath, the fate they offer is still far from merciful. The ruins of the market square can offer cover from the wyvern's breath, for the beast is far too weak to move and will remain in its nest, even if you choose to leave. However, its slumber will not resume anytime soon. If you act with haste and luck is in your favor, you might secure one of the magical items as the beast rouses from sleep. Greed, however, will only lead you to a fiery demise. A closed helmet wrought of a cold, dark metal. While wearing it, the heat becomes more bearable. A right gauntlet that grabs onto things with tremendous strength. A short sword whose jet black blade reflects no light at all. A morning star, far too light for its size. Its spikes are coated with a strange dark grease. Vermis. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there and continue on next time, but thank you so much for watching this part of Vermis. I apologize for the long absence. I was taking care of a pet bird for a while. So you can imagine hearing those chirps in the background would be pretty difficult. Anyway, I will see you next time.